Hey there friends, it's Codiak here. Welcome back to Legacy Gaming and our quick and easy guide to killing Solarus the Immaculate, the final boss in V Rising. We know you guys are here for one reason and one reason alone. You want to kill the boss and claim the throne as the ultimate vampire. So without delay, let's dive in. First things first, preparation. You need to come to this fight prepared. Now, depending on your skills, this is going to mean different things. But in this case, we're going to come fully loaded for the fight. Before heading to the boss arena, you'll want to have at least one of each of the following: a brew of ferocity to increase physical power by 4, an enchanted brew to increase spell power by 4, a potion of rage to increase physical power by 8, a witch potion to increase spell power by 8, and a holy resistance flask which will increase your holy resistance by 75. To answer your question, yes, you can stack these potions and have all 5 active at once. The reason we want to lean into both is because we'll be using a kill strategy that focuses on both physical and magical attacks to get the boss down. Now, in terms of gear and abilities, here's what I used. This is by no means the end-all be-all, but it's far and away one of the best loadouts I experimented with ahead of the kill. For the accessory slot, I'm using Shard of the Frozen Crypt, which leans hard into ability buffs, and for the weapon, I'm using the Sanguine Reaper. The reason for the Reaper is its E ability, Howling Reaper, which acts as almost another ranged attack, which is exactly what we want in this fight. For abilities, I chose the following. For a travel skill, Veil of Bones for that 25% damage amp component, Chaos Volley, one of the best sources of damage in the game, Sanguine Coil, a great option for some chip damage and recovery, and Arctic Leap for the ultimate. For blood, your goal should be to find a 100% scholar, but if you can't do that, find the highest percentage that you can. If you don't know much about prisoners and how to use the system to great effect to get infinite amounts of 100% blood, I'd recommend checking out our video here breaking down the system. With all of that out of the way, let's jump into the fight. Solarus is a 2-phase encounter, one that, in my opinion, gets progressively easier the further you get into the fight. Phase 1, you'll be fighting Solarus alone. He'll use a few different attacks like a standard melee slash, as well as a spinning blade attack. He'll shoot out a blade in a straight line, then 2 blades will jut off to the sides and come back at the boss at around a 15% angle. Simply move out of the way of the first single blade, then step right back in front of the boss to avoid the attack. Solarus will also summon a ton of small beams of light that he'll shoot out in a very specific pattern. It takes some getting used to, but the further you are away from the boss, the easier it is to dodge this attack, as the spacing between the beams gets slightly bigger the further they travel. You can't step through the gap or use your travel skill to avoid taking damage. The boss will also dash towards you throughout this entire phase, summoning a wake of those same small holy lights. These hurt and will stun you in the process, so make sure to stay in front of the boss's path and then off to the side to avoid taking damage. Finally, the boss will occasionally move to the center of the room and spawn 2 holy wells. These will shoot out big balls of holy energy that don't do much damage, so if you do get hit by 1 or 2, it's not the end of the world. The goal here is to nuke down the boss as fast as possible. I like to lead with my ultimate so that I'll have it back up before the end of the fight, but you do you. Simply put, the point of this phase is to get used to the boss's core moveset, because as we move into the second half of phase 1, things get a bit more interesting. If you use the build that I laid out before, make sure to keep using Sanguine Coil, restoring your health. You can pretty much keep yourself topped off so long as you don't make too many crucial mistakes in a row, and that's pretty much necessary when things get a bit more chaotic. Once the boss reaches 50% health, he'll summon an angel avatar. This is when things get a bit more complicated. Solarus will continue to use his core moveset, but the angel will also dive around the room trying to attack you. It has some simple melee attacks, a line attack that's often a pain to avoid, and will sometimes fly outside the arena and start throwing holy projectiles at you. At this point, just ignore the angel for now. If you want to chip away at it with a few attacks, that's fine, because eventually you will need to kill it, just not yet. At this point, keep nuking down the boss. Once he's low enough, the boss will run to the center of the room and shield himself, becoming invulnerable. This is when you start attacking the angel with all of your efforts focused on it. It should die quickly. The more damage the angel takes, however, the more deadly it becomes, and will start using some of Solarus' abilities, so just be careful. I also want to point out that while the boss is shielded, he'll summon these pillars of light all around the room. Don't get hit by these, they will deal high damage and inflict a dot on the player, and that's a real pain to deal with. Once the angel reaches 0 HP, it'll transform into a fallen angel, shoot a projectile at the boss, breaking its shield, and thus will enter phase 2. At this point, the fallen angel is actually on your side, so just focus all your efforts on Solarus. The only real change here is that the boss now has a barbarian leap type of ability, where he'll jump to your location after a reticle appears directly around your character. You should be saving your travel skill for this ability specifically, as it'll easily wipe you if you're not careful. A word of advice: if you're losing the fight and you know you're not going to kill the boss, simply run back down the ramp and reset him, saving yourself the hassle of running back and all that extra nonsense. In Phase 2, keep your focus on Solarus. With the moveset that we laid out, you should also be doing a little bit of damage to the Fallen Angel, which is a great added bonus. As soon as the boss dies, you will need to shift your attention to the Fallen Angel, finish it off as well, and voila, Solarus is dead. Like I said, Phase 2, in my opinion, is much easier than Phase 1, so keep a level head, make sure you're focused on the right target at the right time, and don't forget to use your entire toolkit. You came to the fight loaded with 3 strong ranged attacks and an ultimate, and you can use all of them to great effect to kill the boss. We hope you all enjoyed our quick and easy boss guide for Solarus the Immaculate. If you have any questions or want to share your best tip for killing the boss, you know what to do. Leave us a comment down below and we'll do our best to get back to you. Of course, if you did like this video and you want us to continue on with our V-Rising coverage, we need your help. Hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing. It's still the single best way to help channels like ours reach new audiences. If you're interested in joining our V-Rising private server, consider joining us on Discord. We've got a small PvP server with 2x resources set up for anyone to use. Just check out the link below and join today. Finally, if you like everything we're doing here on the channel and you want to support us even more, consider becoming a member. For just a few bucks, you're helping Livid and I achieve our dreams of becoming full-time content creators. Check out the join button below to learn more. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.